to enter into a dangerous place. And that is the other piece that is happening right now. And the piece that the fairy tale that really kind of took me in, and not really a fairy tale, it's a story, of the Holy Grail. And in Parzival, in his search for the Grail, he was in the land where the land was sick because the king was sick. And the way to in the sickness was to ask the right question. That's why it's so important to ask questions and to ask the right questions. And the question there was, whom does the Grail serve? And the answer was the king. And it had, the meaning was very much about it. The king was in service to the greater good, and the king had not been in service to the greater good, so the land was sick. And so that was how it was healed. But the question that I asked that kind of showed up for me was, whom does the virus serve? And it came back, not whom does it serve, but what does it serve? And it was a shocking answer. And the answer that I got was, it serves our awakening. To wake up to the fact that this paradigm, the veil is falling off, but will we believe what we see?
I'm glad you said that. Yes, I'm glad you said
Sonya.
that. Because that is my perspective on the pandemic. It has been. I never saw it as this curse or something, detrimental. I always saw it as an opportunity for us really to focus and tune in spiritually, but I can't even express it all, but if you don't have a spiritual foundation, then of course whatever you're told is what you will absorb. And it's those people, and they don't necessarily have to be spiritual, but people who see this as an opportunity, the fact that we're even the whole stay in shelter, the shelter in place order. I even perceive that as an opportunity because I was working from home anyway, so I have made absolutely no adjustment since the pandemic. But for me, there's less work, so now I have more opportunity to focus on what I really need to focus on and what I really want to focus on. So I always perceived it as an opportunity because there's an opportunity that exists, and of course that's what I try to promote on, my show. And I hope that other people can see it as well because, like you said, the fear, if we dwell, if we reside, if we live or get caught up in the quagmire of fear, then that's all we're going to keep perpetuating in terms of energy, and the situation, more people will not awaken as a result. So it takes those who know or who sees it as an opportunity to really pour our energy in so that hopefully we can reach those who are on the borderline maybe. It sounds crazy, but...
Yeah,
I've really enjoyed the movement that's happened, and I know people are suffering, and I send energy to that space every day, and including doing free healings and what have you. But I feel like all my friends are like a wrecking crew, and we see these old pillars just standing there, and they're going to fall down and hurt someone. They're already hurting someone. And we are all standing around being like, how do we get these mofos down? And then a wrecking ball comes through, i.e. Corona, and just starts banging around on these already old, wanting to fall down pillars. And my friends and I are the wrecking crew being like, thanks, wrecking ball. I know, it's a little dangerous and, it's a little haphazard, but it was breaking down a lot of constructs that we already knew were unsustainable. So again, with due respect of the suffering and the hardships and the people putting themselves on the front line and being our representatives and soldiers, I give that space so much respect. But I do appreciate the wrecking ball effect that it's happening because we needed something dramatic like that because, like Sibyl was saying, the king is sick or the ground is sick and the people are in a trance. We definitely need to get out of that trance autopilot consumerism space, and this was an opportunity for us to wake up. And it's going to be, we're going to be feeling the effects of it for quite some time. I'm not economist by any stretch of the imagination, and I don't even play one on television, but I do know that we are going to see some really interesting things here. This is the wrecking ball, and we have to, in my opinion, lean a bit more green, a lot more green, and a lot more spiritual. So I guess we'll see what the mass majority take from this. It will be exciting. I don't expect that we'll just flip and turn and be super heartful to the planet constantly, but I do think that there's a shift and movement toward that. Let me hand it back to Sibyl.
Okay, so this is the way forward. First, I just want to say that the Hopi have shared their message, and their message is that this is a time where we can go through a portal or a hole, and the portal is the awakening, and the hole is the fear, and it's an opportunity to unplug from the fear matrix, and the only way we can do it is really by opening our eyes wide and changing our mind and recognizing what is no longer true, what is either never true or no longer true, and what the truth is. But in this time, it is still a time of pause, so there is still the spiritual piece, and the spiritual piece, I believe, the energetic piece is Mother Earth wanting us to rethink this downtime, and this is not, I mean, they've already said there's going to be a second round. I mean, this is, and I don't know, I'm not going to go into conspiracy theories. I'm just saying there are, as a piece we can understand, there's a piece we cannot, and I feel like Mother Earth, and it is the spiritual piece of she's also keeping us down to rethink our position, to rethink our world, and as in the place of where the one paradigm is breaking down and the other is not yet formed, this is the place where we can dream a new world into being. This is the place where. And this is where I want to talk about the Venus retrograde. The Venus retrograde is in a square to Neptune. Venus is human love. Neptune is divine love. So it is that place of raising our vibration as we unplug from that fear matrix. And when we see the truth of it, and I'm just going to say, know that Mother Earth is holding us in our lap, and I feel like she is so guiding us to a green economy. That's what this is about. The old economy is breaking down. The new green one is coming, and there's a quote that I just love, and it is, well, first off, I want to share, I heard a young man say, he wrote an article, why I stopped protesting and put in a garden. And there is another quote that is so great, and it is, permaculture is revolution designed as organic gardening. I feel like what is happening as we still will have a global economy, but it is going to be different because so much more of it is going to be local, and it is especially about local food growing. I don't want to scare people, but I do want to say I feel like the food chain certainly may be impacted because this is not going to end. This is because it is an energy. I think there are those that are taking advantage of it. They are using it for their own gain. It is an opportunistic power grab, and yet there is a bigger picture. And the bigger picture is that it is in the spiritual realm. It is in the mythic realm, and it is about awakening. And we needed to get shook really badly to start waking up.
Agreed.
So, that's what I say. But on a personal level, Venus retrograde, I just want to say, is, because I know what you're asking about, Jennie, and it's in Gemini, and I'm just going to tell what I'm experiencing. It happens June 12th, 13th, depending on where you are, and it's for 6 weeks. And I feel like, it is about bringing us into unity consciousness, but yet there is the square, and I think it is saying that we don't have to be personal friends with everyone. If someone vexes your spirit, you can certainly love them, wish them well, but people may leave your life if they're vexing your spirit. Can I put it that way?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And to know that it's okay.
Yes, it is okay. It is okay. Because you have to make room. There's only so much room, so it's just the exchange of energy. If someone is not feeding your soul, then it's time for them to go.
Perfect. Thank you, Sonya. Yes.
And, with my clients, I often talk about having good boundaries. You can love, especially family. People get it in their head that they have to be, hook, line, sinker for their family. And I'm like, well, it depends. Is your family hook, line, sinker for you? Are they healthy? Are they putting a lot of expectations on you that are too heavy? Or is it unhealthy connection? So you can love people from a distance too. You can, hold space with them and just not be all up in their grill, so to speak. And in fact, that's requested, especially the more sensitive an empath gets, is of course not ditching people, but just noticing how sensitive you are and having good boundaries with that and saying, hey, I'm okay with loving from a distance. If they're not, that's their karma.
Yeah.
Ladies, do you guys want to tell everyone how to get a hold of you? We're getting close to the end of the show, and I want to make sure that everyone can contact you. Let's have Sibyl go first.
Okay, so yes, Sibyl Star, SIBYL. Be sure and spell it right, or you get someone else. SibylStar.com is my website. My email is Sibyl@SibylStar.com. I do personal readings. I do videos. I have a YouTube channel, Sibyl Star. I have a class I'm now doing via Zoom once a month if anyone is interested. What else? I also have a Facebook page called Star Nation Oracle. So those are the places you can reach me.
Wonderful. How about you, Sonya?
You can reach me at, I have a Facebook page, a personal Facebook page, Sonya Spirit. I also have a One for All is Love, ONE, the number 4, ALLISLOVE. And also, if you need to contact me, you can reach me at oneforallislove@gmail.com. And and my show. I almost forgot. One for All is Love podcast, which is every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time or 1:30 Pacific. And as a matter of fact, today I will be discussing from meditation to manifestation. And it's built on some of the techniques written by June Distel in The Illuminated Mind. So I'll be going through that, but it's the why behind it. Because part of, I think, what's wrong with today's society is that they're just blindly being told things because they're accustomed to being blindly fed. And now we're telling people, no, it is your responsibility to cultivate your own food and feed yourself from a spiritual perspective. So, and I want to get into all of that so people can understand the how, so that they can make the necessary changes, so they can be self-motivated and inspired to make the necessary changes to elevate their consciousness, to get in touch with their higher self. Okay.
Get with Sonya Spirit every Wednesday on Heart Over Ego Radio. This is Third Eye Political Radio, and this show is called Political Star Talk. And if you go to any major podcast app and you punch in Third Eye Political Radio, you're going to get a slew of shows that we have weekly. And if you punch in Heart Over Ego Radio, you're going to get upwards of 8 shows a week over there, definitely filling out over there. So if you like our take on politics, you're going to love our take on spirituality, and we're all interested in breaking down constructs in both spaces, hence bringing forth the knowledge and the healing. Ladies, it is always a pleasure. I appreciate you both, and you'll see us back here in a couple weeks, and I think we're going to go every other Wednesday.
Yep,
until the election at least, and then we'll reevaluate and see what happens then, because the shows, they just make themselves these days. Appreciate everyone. Makes it easy for us, doesn't it? That's why I can do 5 a week. So I'm like, there's just so much to talk about. Appreciate everyone for listening. We're going to cut out of here with a commercial, and 2 weeks from now, you will be back in our graces.
Welcome to Downward Dogma, a podcast that explores and You're listening to Third Eye Political Radio, and we really appreciate you joining us. And when you have a moment, why don't you check out our sister station, Heart Over Ego Radio, where we offer a lineup of shows that are guaranteed to raise your vibrations and guide you into your best life. We offer shows on Sundays, Everyday Psychic Radio, Mondays, The Alchemy Sisters, Tuesdays, Radical Spirituality, and on Wednesdays, All for One is Love. And then we close out the week on Fridays with Rain Radio. Amazing shows produced for you 5 days a week, only on Blog Talk Radio. That's right, it's our sister station, Heart Over Ego Radio.
and an intro to one of our other shows on Third Eye Political Radio, Downward Dogma.
Welcome to Downward Dogma, a podcast that explores and challenges today's authority system. Join us as we discuss the ingredients